Good morning, everyone. We are a little early this morning. The girls are going to join me as they can. Yesterday, our stove decided that it didn't want to work anymore, which was just it's a fabulous addition to a Friday. And so, thankfully, I was able to order another one and get it delivered this morning. So they're actually coming here in about 17 minutes to deliver and install, and there's going to be lots of background noise. So I decided to just jump on and do the show now quickly before it starts to get noisy in here. So we're about 15-20 minutes early, and I apologize, but at least we're here. Karen and Tracy will join me if they can. So it's September 2nd. There are 4 months left to the year. It's an opportunity for you to finish strong for sure. We do have, I did put up a teachable school. I've started a teachable school called Elevate You. There is a free course in there called Finish Strong. It is completely free to you. It is, I think, 6 modules with a bunch of downloadables. It is a completely free course. I will post the link for that course in the comments of this live after I get off live. So you can look for that. I will post it in the comments. All right, here we go. Karen's coming. All right, Karen, you are live. Now we are live together.
Oh, we dressed up.
Yeah, we definitely did. I've got my spiritual gangster shirt on. Yeah, so the stove, I was telling everybody before you came on, the stove shit the bed yesterday, and I was able to get a new one, and they're delivering it this morning. So we kind of need the stove. So I decided to just jump on.
Especially for the way you eat, yeah.
Right? And I was telling people about the free course, so we'll post that in the comments, the free teachable course, to help you guys finish the year strong. I'm always talking about that. You will see the content on the Working Coach Mom page. We'll kind of follow along with what's in that course for the rest of the year. We'll be giving you things to think about and things to do every day to finish the year strong, to finish up in a way that maybe you haven't finished a year in a long time. Most people at this point are just like, oh, screw it, it's over with. I'll just coast into the holidays and try again next year. And definitely you don't have to do it that way. I have a couple of points I wanted to make this morning. Given that it's almost the holidays, and I've talked to some clients lately that have had some triggers with like family stuff and past stuff. And I just want to say, like, it's time to put the past behind you. It's just let that go, because the only person that it's screwing with is you. Like, whoever those people are in the past, or whatever those relationships are, whatever happened or didn't happen, like, if it's in your mind, it's disturbing your life. It's not necessarily disturbing theirs. And if someone doesn't know how to act in your presence and they don't have clear boundaries, like, you can love people from far away. You don't have to be right up close to them. The act of forgiveness is really for yourself. It's not for the other people in your life, truly. It's for you, so you can move on freely and just move forward. And I saw this phrase this morning in something I was reading, and I thought it was very poignant. We don't forget what has happened. However, we no longer allow ourselves to be defined by something that doesn't support our happiness. And I just thought, like, wow, that's a really powerful statement, right? Because when we're dwelling on events from the past, or people's behaviors from the past, or things that don't work from the past, like, whose aliveness is that stealing? Probably not the other people, probably ours. Karen, you want to say? I know we both come from interesting families, so do you want to say anything about that?
No, it's right. And I mean, I go through this every year, and then you're right. This year, we're done with that. We're done with that notebook, because they don't care.
Right. And, they don't care because they're not doing the work. It's not like they don't care, like F you, I don't care. It's like, it just doesn't, like, it doesn't even occur for them that there's a something, or it doesn't even occur for them that there's like forgiveness work to do, or it doesn't even occur for them, whatever. Like, most people don't set out to be an asshole. It's just that they don't really think about it. They're just kind of focused on their own thing. Something I've been noticing lately and talking to some clients is like most people are unhappy. It's really quite shocking to me how many people are on the day-to-day not really happy with their lives. And so I think the next free course I put up is going to be, happiness is a choice. And we're going to help people kind of work through that with some principles of positive psychology. Again, little commercial for our school. We did launch a teachable school called Elevate You. I will drop the link in the comments. There is a free class up there. There will be some paid stuff up there, not yet. Right now, there's a free class called Finish Strong, and I'm going to put up some more free stuff too. It's a way for me to help you guys when I don't have time to just sit here live and go back and forth with you. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Dodie. Sorry, ladies, we're a little early. I have a stove being delivered. The gentleman told me in 17 minutes. So I thought we should go live now because otherwise it would be later, like 9:15. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is let's talk about the fact that we have 4 months left in the year. And, what does success look like for you? I always ask you, like, what do you want? That's a good question. And so another good question to live in right now is what does success look like for you? What does that look like for you? Because for everybody, it's different. For some people, it's money. For some people, it's a job title. For some people, it's relationship. It could be Tracy's about to join us. Tracy, I'm going to put you live. Okay. All right. We're all here. I rousted them up because I told them we were going live at 8:30. And then all of a sudden I told them we were going live at 8:12. So sorry, ladies. What does success look like for you? That's another way to answer the question. What do you want? So I encourage you for the next 4 months, for all the coffee chats that we have from now until the end of the year, I'm going to give you a question every Saturday morning to think about and write in your notebook. So I suggest, if you haven't already, that you get a new notebook for these next 4 months. I further suggest that you take the free class that is online, because there's the whole workbook to finish the year strong and plan for the new year is in there, and it's a free downloadable in that class. And the class is free. Again, I will drop the link in the comments to this video after we get off, because I don't think I can do it right now while we're on here. So I was just saying, Tracy, that I've been talking to clients lately and I'm realizing how many people are not happy. Like, it's really just shocking to me. Yeah. And so I was trying to think about, like, how do we arm people to, Missy says most of her friends are unhappy. I mean, I know people with a lot, like my clients have lots of, disposable income, and they're not, like, it's just, I am startled by how many people are reporting that they are unhappy on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to be thinking of ways that we can arm you to, number one, transform that for yourselves, and number two, help other people to transform that for themselves.
And powerless too. I'm finding that a lot of people, they really feel powerless to their situation. It's like, no, you're not powerless. You're right. The one. So yeah. I'm okay. Let's talk about that for a second. So remember that power comes from your ability to transform, transmute, and respond. So let's just break those down. So transform means to turn one thing into another thing. Mm-hmm. Transmute. So transform is to take something and work with it and transform it into like a better version of itself. That's transform. Transmute is to actually take like water and turn it into wine, for instance. Transmute is actually like
suck up something and spit it back out as completely something else. That's alchemy. Alchemy is transmutation. Like that's what that does. So that's like a whole, take this one thing and turn it into a whole nother thing. And I've been thinking lately that we could actually, for those of us that are happy and are, doing the work on ourselves, I'm thinking that we have the ability to transmute things for people because if we're doing the work, we can actually see something as one thing and help to transmute that into something else. So if you're talking to someone and in a conversation and they are just spitting out unhappiness and negativity, like you have the ability to transmute that into something else when it comes back out of your mouth. You can offer something different to them than what they just gave you. So instead of like, oh yeah, you poor sucker, that's really unfortunate. Like you get to transmute that into something else. Like you could point to something else. You could give them something else to look at, something else to think about, something else to focus on.
Yeah.
Transform is when you're trying to help them view their situation as something else, right? So there's still power in that too. But I want you to understand the difference between transform and transmute, because transmute is like you gave me a bucket of shit and I'm giving you back a bucket of light. Like that's transmute. Like I'm taking on the shit because I'm self-aware and I know how to transmute stuff. I know how to turn that shit into gold and I'm going to spit it back at you as something else. Yeah. And that's a very powerful tool. It's something that I do in my life and in the world. And it's something that you can also do if you are at you got to be at a higher level, because you have to be able to really suck that shit up and then let it go and then spit it back out as something else. So you have to be adept at like not taking that on and letting it weigh you down. You have to like bring it in and blow it out as something else. And that that's a high level of consciousness.
Yep.
So because you have to have been able to do that with your own stuff first. You can't give that gift to somebody else if you are still walking around with a sack of bullshit from your whole life that, you're just going to drop on anybody that is listening. So space and grace, response versus reaction. These are all ways that you can get your power back and how you can give power back to other people, right? So we talk about respond versus react a lot. I have noticed most people, even people that I would imagine are more self-aware than I thought, or I thought they were more self-aware than they are, rather, are still, I see them reacting to things. And so a way that you can hold yourself back from reaction is take a pause. Juliet Funt calls it white space. Take space, and I call it space and grace. Like just if someone, and I encourage you all, like holidays are coming, families are coming for you.
Yeah.
They're coming, whether you like it or not. Whether they're on the phone or they're just in your head or they're in person. Like this is the time of year that everyone starts to go, oh. And it doesn't have to be like that. Like you could transform that. One of the ways you can do that for yourself is stay the hell away from people that can't respect your boundaries and love them from afar. You can do that. And you don't have to feel bad about that. I was talking to a client just yesterday. Like you don't have to feel guilty about protecting yourself and protecting your energy and your peace. You don't have to feel guilty about that. Be respectful, send a gift, send a card, make a phone call. There is no law that says you have to subject yourself to other people's bullshit. Like if it doesn't make you happy, if it's not increasing your happiness, then, don't do that.
Yeah.
Tracy disappeared.
Oh, sure. Tracy's in space.
Yeah. She took some space and grace.
I'm good. Thank you.
So what do you want to say about that?
Oh, I mean, I started setting, I think I was telling this on a different show like 10 years ago before I even knew I was setting boundaries and like during the holidays with my family. And I just don't go. I don't talk to them anymore. But at the time I just didn't go and I sent a gift. And at the time I felt so guilty. I was like 25. I felt so guilty, but it felt so good. And once you get it, you do it once, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. I get what everyone's saying. You're doing this for you.
That's
It's
why they
hard.
say, chosen family, right?
Yeah.
And listen, we're all grateful for our origin families, right?
Yeah.
We learned stuff. There's lessons there. I'm a firm believer in we kind of set up our whole situation before we got here. So, it's like
That's a big thing too, is in the next part after you set the boundaries and being grateful for who they are and what they brought and like spinning it. That's
right.
the next step in that.
Gosh.
There, we're back, Trace. We got you back.
Sorry.
I don't know
Hold
what
on.
happened. Yeah, you can. Her, I don't know what's going on with her volume. Okay. Anyway, sorry guys. I guess she's having technical issues. You really do have the ability to write a new story. We talk about that a lot too, right? Kendra Hall's book is great for that. For somebody that doesn't really understand that they're the author of the story or what story means in your life or like how to make a new story or any of those things, that's a great it's a great book to start to understand about story and how we're the author of the story, and we can delete a story and add a story, and we can do can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
All right, Tracy's back, I think. Tracy, it's okay. So you are the author of your own story, and in that you get to edit, rewrite, throw away, open a new chapter, get a new notebook, whatever. And I just think unhappiness, I think, is sourced by, like what you said, Tracy, people's feeling of powerlessness.
Yep.
If people really understood that they were in charge of their own happiness and they could make it and create it or not create it in every moment,
Yep.
That would truly transform people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I get if someone's like really deeply negative, like following a negative trajectory with their thoughts, feelings, words, the company they keep. It's a lot harder to get them to see how to step out and take responsibility for their lives and take responsibility for their happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. Money doesn't buy happiness. I mean, yes, is it easier to navigate life with money so that you're not worrying about how to like keep the lights on and cover, the rent and all? Yeah, absolutely. I am not discounting that. I have been on both sides of the fence. Definitely like it better when I can pay the bills without freaking out. Definitely a better feeling. Did it make me more happy or less happy? No, I chose that. I choose that. And sometimes what I see around me is all these people that are like working so hard for the economic part, and they don't have a lot. They're not having like a life in the middle, which is why I encourage my staff at Staff Agency, like take that space, take that white space. You have to enjoy your life. You're no good to anybody if you're not. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? We say that all the time.
Yeah.
It's why they drop the oxygen mask on you first. So I would encourage everyone this week to look at a couple different things. One, I started out with it's time to put the past behind you. It really is. This is a great time. Why not now? The world is a strange place these days. You don't know what's going to happen when. Janet's just joining us. Good morning for anyone that's just joining us at our regular time. We actually went live at 12 because I'm having a stove delivered shortly. And they're going to make a lot of noise, and I didn't want you guys to be subjected to that. Time to put the past behind you, really. Sarah, I just explained, sorry, no, this morning we just went on early because I have an unexpected delivery. They called at 8. It's all right, you guys. This will be posted live, so you can go back and rewatch if you're just joining us now, so don't fret. You'll be able to catch the whole thing. So, time to put the past behind you. Why drag it along? Truly. Like, why? It's not bringing you any closer to where, if you have bad feelings about the past, it is not bringing you any closer to where you want to go.
Yeah, some people wear it like a warm blanket. You know,
Yeah, it's
they
comforting.
hover on it and they talk about it and it consumes them and they can't, and then you can't move forward because you're you're holding on to that. Well, that's not true anymore. This is true. You're new, you've changed, you're older, you're overcome whatever's going on, and you have to just let go. And I know it's work because you and I, we work with people.
Yeah, everything is. I mean,
Right.
you know,
Everything is.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
realized recently I was comfortable being single and in that, like, oh, I wish he contacted me, or living in that. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel comfortable in this.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't moved on. But you have to, like, I'm sorry, my dog's freaking
It's
out.
all right.
You have to
Bagel the
be
beagle.
honest with yourself. Like,
Yep.
and it's okay to be vulnerable and honest. That was really hard for me to be like, shit,
Yep.
I'm creating this and I'm comfortable in it.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
good.
I don't have a solution, but I know that about
That's
myself.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a coach. I think I've shared this with both Tracy and Karen. So I have an executive coach and I have a certain level of economics, and then, you know, I get to the end of the year and like nothing's changed and the numbers go up, but the feeling that I have at the end of the year like has not changed. And he said to me, "You're comfortable in struggle." And I went, "Oh shit."
Oh,
I mean, that was life changing for me because the numbers have gone up and up and up and up. And I am still like in struggle because I've over helped the kid. Or, you know, and he was like, this is because you're comfortable in struggle. It's all you've ever known. You know, as a single mom, you had to struggle. Everything was a struggle. Now you've actually built the economics that don't require you to struggle, and you
Yes.
still feel. He's like,
Oh.
there's no where's the evidence that you have to struggle? And I
Yes.
went, oh shit.
yeah.
There isn't it. He's like, there isn't any.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow. Okay, you're right. There isn't any.
Mhm.
And so now that was a few months ago. So it's probably been like 3 months now. And I'm you know, every time I go to make a purchase or do I'm like, okay, is this a need, a want? Is this necessary? Is this going to make me feel good? If I'm just looking at all that. I can't tell you how many shopping carts I filled online and clicked out of the thing before I even, so that's been really interesting for me because I didn't see that. So, I mean, that's the value of a coach. Even at my level, that's the value of a coach because there are, I'm really good at a lot of things, but sometimes I can't see that I'm still in a fishbowl because I'm a fish in the bowl. And it's really hard to see that you're in a fish. If you're the fish in the bowl, you don't know you're in a fish bowl until the person outside the bowl goes, yo, you're in a bowl. It's like, oh shit, I'm in a bowl. Okay. Yeah. And, in the bowl, you've got a limited experience in the bowl. So unless somebody can like smash the bowl and help you see what's outside that, that's where a coach comes in handy. So for those of you just coming on, so those are some of the things that I asked. I'm asking you to look at, what needs to be put behind you. What is it time to leave behind? What conversation, what story, what is it? You have 4 months left to the year. You have the opportunity to do some really kick-ass work in the next 4 months to transform, transmute all of the stuff that you are currently sitting in and that you have been dragging behind you, because life keeps going on. And are you going? Like, what are you doing? Are you going on like life is going on, or are you just continually stuck in the same, There's a few of you that jumped on the opportunity for this 4-month intensive with me. I have first appointments with some of you on Monday, so watch out because I'm about to light a fire under your ass. And then for those of you that didn't hear this, I feel like this is a really valuable statement. So forgiveness is for you, and you don't forget what has happened. However, you no longer allow yourself to be defined by something that doesn't support your happiness.
Yep.
I thought that was huge. I read it in something this morning and I wrote it down so that I could share it with you. That's huge. Maybe when things come up, you should start asking yourself, does this support my happiness? or is this something that, you know, I'm putting up with?
Mm-hmm.
And how many times my thing for 55 was like, I'm going to stop saying yes when I mean no. And lots of times I mean no. And I'm saying yes because I'm a people pleaser. I don't want to disappoint someone. I don't want somebody to feel bad. I don't want them to think, you know, whatever. And meanwhile, it steals your aliveness. Every time you say yes when you mean no, a piece of you gets covered over like with dirt. And then before you know it, you turn around and you can't breathe.
Yeah,
and that's why.
no, well, that's like the story about the donkey in the hole. So he's in the hole and the dirt keeps coming on him and coming on me. And you could sit there and say, oh my gosh, look at all this shit that's happening in my life. Look at all these circumstances. Look at all these situations. Just letting it come and come. But what the donkey did is he stepped up. He shook it off and he stepped up. He shook it off and he stepped up. And it kept coming. And eventually there was so much dirt that he just kept shaking off and stepping up that he was able to like walk out. Like you can leave. You can make it different. You can create something new today and recreate yourself. But some people, they get so used to who they were that they're afraid to let's just say get naked with all of it and reinvent. Right, there's a lot of vulnerability there. There's a lot of unknowing, you know, to just step out and do something different.
All right, ladies, here comes my stove. So I would encourage you this week to grab your notebook, grab a new one, think about what is it time to put what what needs to be put behind you? What does success look like for you? Where can you have more space and grace for yourself? And where do you need to create some boundaries as we walk into the holiday season? Like really, so that you could have the most fantastic holiday season you have ever had so far in your existence. That's what I'm gunning for all of us. What needs to happen? What do you have to change? What boundaries do you have to set? All right, ladies, I love you all. I will see you soon. We'll be back next Saturday, 8:30 at the right time. Have a great week. Karen, Tracy, I'll talk to you guys later. Love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.